guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this reality chat. So Kandi, as you know, she's going to speak on it. So since the news that she actually released before anyone else, or confirming, shall we say, that she was not going to be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, she is elaborating on the reasons as to why she is not returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta this season. So she went on her channel to speak on it, and this is what she had to say.
I'm not coming back. I'm going to take a break. Like, when I'm moved on for something, or if I let go of something, I really let go. I love my Bravo family. Let me just say that. I definitely feel like I have been supported over the years on the show. I definitely can say, you know, all them spinoffs, and, well, not all of them were spinoffs. A lot of them were like specials. All of those shows that we did together outside of Real Housewives, plus the 14 seasons that I did with Real Housewives. I saw somebody post and they were like, oh, you know, let's not act like Kandi didn't give us 21 seasons of great television. And I said, ooh, damn, that sounds long. 21. But then when I went back and counted, they were correct. I had 7 other specials and other series on Bravo outside of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is kind of like super cool to me because it's some housewives that don't even be on Housewives for 7 seasons. So to have 7 other shows outside of the Real Housewives that I've been a part of, it's just, you know, it's a big deal to me. It's major to me. It's probably was like, I won't say it was the hardest decision I've ever made, but it was a hard decision for me. They did ask me back. For those who probably thinking like, oh, you know, they didn't ask her back, you know. No, they did ask me to come back. So it wasn't like that. It wasn't, they still was offering me a cute coin, honey. So it wasn't like that either. It wasn't about the money. I just felt like it was a mixture of things. And more so than anything, I think it was the time that they kind of had us lingering. Yeah, I'm not coming back.
All right, so you heard what she had to say, and listen, some people were commenting and said, it was time, now bye, too much yapping. Glad she's not returning. Peace. In the words of Andy Cohen, thank you for your services. I don't know if Andy Cohen said that, but I definitely remember Shawnee O'Neal saying that to somebody on Basketball Wives, but I haven't watched that in ages, so I haven't heard every single word that's come out of Andy Cohen's mouth. Maybe he did say that. But somebody else says, bye, Kandi. Make room for someone interesting. She just said a whole bunch of nothing. I honestly feel like she stayed 3 years too long. Who cares? I'm tired of hearing about this. Glad you gone. Girl, please. Nobody has cared to see you on TV since Phaedra left, and that's facts. Glad her boring self is gone. She heard the viewers. She knew she brings nothing and wasn't wanted. A Taurus living in our truth. I'm only happy she's gone because of her mama. Shaking my head. She's too much. It's a whole oxymoron when many of the Real Housewives don't have legal husbands. A husband should be a stipulation for being on the show. Somebody else says, bye. And somebody else says, we don't care, beloved. Someone else says it was time. Bring Phaedra back. Someone else says, we've been wanting a Phaedra return anyway. Thanks for making room, ma'am. And listen, there are a lot of people that were rooting for her to stay. And a lot of people that are like, yeah, I'm glad that she's gone so now she can focus on other things. Because she really doesn't even need that money from being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But listen, she's saying that they were offering her a cute coin. Now, what does a cute coin even really mean? And do most people even really believe that? Because truth be told, we know that since the pandemic, the Real Housewives franchise definitely has been doing a few nips and tucks here and there because of the budget. So if it was going to make sense for them to cut back on some people so that they could allocate money in other places, then it's possible that that's what they could have been working on. But also, it's been rumored that phaedraparks may possibly be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yes, we know she's on Married to Medicine now. But with her being on Married to Medicine and it not even really making sense for her to be there, because she's definitely not married to medicine, and she's not even, from what we can see, actually dating medicine. But I guess what she's trying to showcase is she's actually into alternative medicine because she's a Reiki teacher, a Reiki master, doing healing Reiki and whatever on people. But that's not what most people thought she was going to be bringing to Married to Medicine. And she is still in Atlanta. So is it possible that they're bringing Phaedra back? Now, she recently was interviewed on GQ, and she revealed that there has definitely been discussions about her coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So if she were to come back, if this was a possibility, do you think this is something that they presented to Kandi, and Kandi did what she said before, which is, if you all want to bring Phaedra back, then I won't be here? Or was it because of a multitude of factors? So she was asked, if they were to reboot Real Housewives of Atlanta, who would you want on it? Would you go? She said that's the discussion that's on the table right now. Obviously, what has to happen is something to rejuvenate the cast. We saw with New York, people are loving that. And we've seen it with Miami going on hiatus and coming back. I think Atlanta has a chance to rebuild the stellar reputation it had when I was a part of it. Because it was the Titanic and it sunk. Pull them back up. Never say never. There's been some discussions about me returning. We'll see. So listen, we know she's been throwing shade over the past few years. A few times when she was asked, I remember when she was a little guest on the Real Housewives of Dubai, and she mentioned it. I don't remember what her specific words were, but if you watched it, then you caught it, you heard it, you saw it. Okay? So is it possible that they could be bringing Phaedra back? And if they did, would it make sense? Now, I will say that even though I didn't see Phaedra as one of my favorite people, and I still believe that she did have some involvement with her ex-husband in the dealings that he went down for, that she tried to disassociate herself from her actual husband during the time he was going through those things, not even showing up to court with him, for him, not wanting to take the children to see their dad, and just a number of different things that happened over the years. Thankfully, their dad is no longer incarcerated and they can spend time with their dad, not behind bars. So that's a great thing for the sons, because she has 2 sons with this man. And she was one of the main proponents of not wanting her sons to grow up in a society where they are looked upon a certain way because of the amount of melanin that they embody. So yeah, even though their dad has a criminal history, she knew that when she chose to be with that man. So it's not like she got with someone that she thought was this upstanding individual and then it turned out to be who the bleep did I marry. No, she knew who she had, and she tried to put it off as something different in the beginning. And then as time went on, we learned that he was still doing a lot of the things that he was doing before. So with that being said, there's no way that she couldn't have known what was going on. Like Todd said on that reunion special, you know about this, you know about that, you know about the other, but you don't know what the bleep your husband is doing. Get the heck up out of here. And it was true. I 100% agree with that. But also, if they were to bring her back onto the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Kandi isn't there, doesn't that kind of leave a cliffhanger? Because I'm not saying that she and Kandi would ever be friends again, but I feel like with all of the time that has passed and all of the opportunities that Kandi has been able to build for herself off of the back and the strength of that, what she called a lie, why not do it where it's definitely going to garner oh my God, so many views. I feel like if she brought Phaedra on to speak on it, that would probably do more views than the Shannon Sharp, Cat Williams interview on Club Shay Shay. I'm just being honest. Like, seriously, that would get so many people watching. And we know that Kandi's all about her money, and Phaedra definitely is too. But with that being said, Kandi being honestly, just don't take any offense if you're a Taurus, but being the bullheaded Taurus that she is, she's just stuck in her ways, and she isn't going to see the forest for the trees when it comes to Phaedra, because she feels like Phaedra said this blatant lie about her. But my personal opinion, and I've spoken about this before as well, if you could forgive Portia, I'm not saying that you and Phaedra have to be friends and even friendly towards each other, but, well, dang, you can't even work together for the sake of what you claim is this family that you have at Bravo that has given you the opportunities to have these specials and spinoffs and all of the years straight that you have been on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because I do believe that Andy really likes Phaedra and he wanted her to come back on the show, but because he really liked Kandi too, and because he felt like he had to take a side in that situation, he was going to take Kandi's side. Period. So with that being said, would it make sense for Phaedra to come back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta if there really is no closure between her and Kandi? Again, not saying that they have to become buddies or be friends, but it would have been great if they would have been able to have like a conversation and have some closure versus the way that it ended when Phaedra really was just like, well, I just care about Portia. I'm just concerned about Portia. That was a bad decision on Phaedra's part, period. I said that then and I'll say it now, continue to say it. That was a bad decision on her end, because now, I mean, I don't even think she and Portia are friends. So was it really worth it to sacrifice the friendship that you had with Kandi because you're mad because she wasn't as close to you or there for you as much as you felt like she should be because of what you were going through with Apollo? It's crazy. But anyway, guys, oh man, I just wanted to talk about this. So yeah, Kandi spoke on what the real thing is when it comes to her not coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and people are going to believe what they want to believe, but people definitely had thoughts about it. And to let me know what you think about Phaedra possibly returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and do you feel that that is one of the reasons why Kandi decided to take the exit, because they let her know that we are in talks with Phaedra to potentially bring her back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, even if it's as a friend of situation to begin. So yeah, tell me how you feel about it, guys, in the comment section. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.